There is a man inside Kansas City who does not wear a helmet, does not call plays on Sunday, and never throws a pass under pressure. But every dynasty has someone like him. Someone in the shadows. Someone who sees the board before the rest of the league even knows the game has started. Brett Veach is not just the general manager of the Kansas City Chiefs. He is the architect behind the machine. The man who helped identify Patrick Mahomes before Mahomes became a football god. The man who watched the NFL panic after the Tyreek Hill trade and then quietly rebuilt the Chiefs into champions again. The man who looked at the salary cap, the most brutal prison in professional sports, and treated it like a puzzle waiting to be hacked. Elon Musk changed industries by mixing engineering with calculated risk. Brett Veach is doing something similar in the NFL. Only his rockets are draft picks, his fuel is cap space, and his mission is terrifyingly simple. Keep Patrick Mahomes protected, keep Andy Reid armed, and keep the Kansas City Chiefs winning long after every rival thinks the dynasty should be dead. And now, heading into 2026, the next phase may be even darker, because Veach is not trying to survive the NFL system, he is trying to bend it. Before we enter this story, hit like and subscribe to Chiefs Legacy. Your support helps us keep producing more deep, cinematic, high-level Kansas City Chiefs content, the kind of content that looks behind the curtain, follows the money, studies the moves, and shows Chiefs Kingdom what the rest of the NFL is afraid to say out loud.
Before Brett Veach became the man rivals fear, he was close enough to Andy Reid to learn how power really works in football. According to Chiefs.com, before entering scouting, Veach served as assistant to head coach Andy Reid with the Philadelphia Eagles from 2007 to 2009. That detail matters, because Veach did not rise through the league as some distant executive trapped behind spreadsheets. He came up inside the engine room of an Andy Reid operation. He learned the rhythm, the language, the patience, the aggression, the way Reid sees quarterbacks, space, pressure, and time. Then came the move that changed everything: Patrick Mahomes. According to Chiefs.com, before Veach was promoted to general manager, he played an integral role in the scouting of Mahomes. And according to Chiefs.com, Kansas City traded the number 27 overall pick, a third-round pick, and a 2018 first-round selection to Buffalo to move up to number 10 in the 2017 NFL Draft and select the quarterback from Texas Tech. At the time, it looked bold. Now, it looks like the moment the NFL timeline split in half. Because Mahomes was not just another quarterback prospect, he was a living glitch in the defensive universe. Arm angles that did not make sense, throws from platforms that coaches were supposed to forbid, a backyard instinct inside a professional offense, a player most organizations might have overmanaged, overcorrected, or talked themselves out of. But Veach saw the signal inside the chaos. According to Chiefs.com, when asked about moving up for Mahomes, he said he thought Mahomes was the best quarterback in the draft and that there was no doubt in his mind it was the right decision. That is the first secret of the Veach model. He is not aggressive just to look aggressive. He is aggressive when he believes the market is wrong. And that is exactly how dynasties are built. Not by following consensus, not by waiting politely, not by asking the room for permission, but by identifying the one asset that can change your franchise forever, and then moving before everyone else understands the danger. That was the first hack. Mahomes was the code. Andy Reid was the operating system, and Brett Veach became the architect who understood that once you have the greatest quarterback in football, the job is no longer to build a normal roster. The job is to build a machine around him that can mutate every offseason. Then came the move that made people think the dynasty was finally vulnerable. Tyreek Hill was gone. In 2022, Kansas City traded one of the most explosive weapons in NFL history to the Miami Dolphins. The league looked at that trade and saw weakness. They saw Mahomes losing his nuclear option. They saw Andy Reid losing the field stretcher who could turn a broken play into a touchdown before the camera even caught up. The outside world thought the Chiefs had taken a step back. Veach saw something else. He saw an aging cost curve. He saw a future cap problem. He saw a roster that needed young, cheap, controllable talent before the Mahomes contract started tightening the walls. He saw what most fans could not emotionally accept in the moment. Sometimes the move that hurts the most is the move that keeps the empire alive. According to ESPN, the Chiefs traded Tyreek Hill to Miami in March 2022 for 5 draft picks. And according to Arrowhead Pride, that 2022 class later looked even stronger with time. Kansas City had 10 picks, landed Trent McDuffie and George Karlaftis in the first round, and also came away with players like Brian Cook, Leo Chenal, and Isaiah Pacheco. That was not a rebuild. That was a controlled detonation. Veach took one superstar and converted him into multiple structural pieces. He turned one expensive weapon into a younger, deeper, more balanced roster. And the most terrifying part is what happened next. Kansas City did not collapse. Kansas City won. Without Hill, Mahomes became less predictable. The offense became more distributed. The defense became more dangerous. The Chiefs were no longer just a track team with a genius quarterback. They became something colder, more adaptable, more playoff-proof. That is when the league should have understood the real nightmare. The Chiefs were not dependent on one version of themselves. Veach had built a team that could shed skin, and every time rivals thought Kansas City had lost too much talent, the Chiefs found another shape. A young corner here, a pass rusher there, a 7th-round running back running like he had been personally disrespected by every draft room in America. This is why Veach's power moves hit differently. They are not just transactions, they are strategic sacrifices. He is willing to take short-term emotional pain to create long-term structural advantage. That is what separates a normal general manager from a dynasty architect. A normal GM tries to keep everyone happy. Veach tries to keep the machine alive. But the darkest part of this story is not the draft, it is the salary cap. Because every NFL dynasty eventually walks into the same trap. The cornerback gets paid, the stars get expensive, the roster gets older, the middle class disappears. Suddenly, the same team that once looked unstoppable becomes trapped by its own success. The Chiefs should have been there already. Patrick Mahomes signed the kind of contract that should crush a roster if handled poorly. According to NFL.com, Mahomes inked a massive 10-year, $450 million contract in July 2020. According to Reuters, that deal runs through the 2031 season and remains one of the defining financial structures in the NFL. But Veach and the Chiefs did not treat that contract like a burden. They treated it like an instrument. According to NFL.com, in February 2026, Kansas City converted $44.05 million of Mahomes' 2026 base salary and a $10.4 million roster bonus into fully guaranteed roster bonus, creating $43.56 million in cap room. NFL.com also noted that the move lowered Mahomes' 2026 cap number from $78.214 million to $34.65 million, while pushing additional money into future seasons. That is not just accounting, that is dynasty engineering. The Chiefs are essentially buying time, moving pressure, creating windows, pushing pain into the future because the present still has Mahomes, Reid, and a championship-level infrastructure. But that also means the next phase is dangerous, because 2026 is not just another offseason, it is a stress test. It is the moment where Veach has to keep solving the impossible equation: pay the quarterback, protect the quarterback, refresh the roster, stay young, stay explosive, and avoid letting the cap turn the dynasty into a museum. And he has done this before. After the Super Bowl LV loss to Tampa Bay, when Mahomes was hunted behind a broken offensive line, Veach did not patch the problem slowly, he attacked it. According to NFL.com, during the 2021 offseason, the Chiefs signed Joe Thuney to a 5-year, $80 million deal, acquired Orlando Brown Jr. in a trade with Baltimore, and drafted Creed Humphrey in the 2nd round and Trey Smith in the 6th. That was not a minor adjustment. That was a full-scale reconstruction of the wall around the franchise. And that's the pattern. When the NFL thinks Kansas City has a weakness, Veach does not just fix the leak, he redesigns the system.
When the speed left, he built depth. When the offensive line cracked, he rebuilt the trench. When the cap tightened, he restructured the numbers. When rivals waited for regression, he kept manufacturing new versions of the same nightmare. That is why Brett Veach is so dangerous. Because he understands that the Chiefs' dynasty cannot be frozen in one identity. It has to keep evolving. It has to keep cutting, trading, drafting, restructuring, and reinventing itself before the rest of the league catches the pattern. And now the question becomes terrifying for everyone outside Chiefs Kingdom. What is the next power move? Another bold trade? Another painful goodbye? Another draft night attack? Another cap maneuver that suddenly gives Kansas City enough oxygen to add the exact piece everyone said they could not afford? Because if history has taught us anything, it is this: Brett Veach is most dangerous when people think he is cornered. That is when he moves. That is when the board changes. That is when the rest of the NFL wakes up and realizes the Chiefs were not rebuilding, they were reloading in silence. So here's the question for Chiefs Kingdom. Is Brett Veach already preparing the next move that will extend the Mahomes-Reid empire into another era? And are NFL rivals about to realize too late that the dynasty was never dying at all? Drop your answer in the comments. And if you want more deep Chiefs stories like this, more power moves, more hidden strategy, more behind-the-scenes dynasty breakdowns, hit like and subscribe to Chiefs Legacy. Every like and every new subscriber helps us keep producing more Kansas City Chiefs content for the fans who know this team is not just chasing wins, it is building an empire.